Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Maxine Taylor, America's first licensed astrologer, and today we are talking about when the Sun and Venus and Mercury are in great, grand, glorious, and yes, wonderful Leo. Now, the Leonian qualities are larger than life. And of course, the Sun, which I talked about in the first segment, rules Leo. And the Sun rules the ego. And the beauty of the Leonian Leo ego is that when they're paid a compliment, when you, Leo, are paid a compliment, because I know you're watching this, you're able to return it so beautifully. I love it. Today we are talking about when Venus is in Leo. Now, Venus is in Leo when the Sun is in Leo, because they travel together. And, as you know, Mercury is the third planet we're talking about, because this is the team. This is the loving tag team that we enjoy so much from approximately July 23rd to August 22nd. I say approximately because Venus moves faster than the Sun. So does Mercury. And so they make way for the Sun. And the Sun enters and says, "Thank you, Venus. Thank you, Mercury, for being the heralds that are announcing my arrival." And Venus, love, in Leo, fun, games, enjoyment. Leo is ruled by the Sun. The Leo confidence can be very strong and very enviable, particularly during the time that the Sun and Venus and Mercury are in great, grand, glorious Leo. So, your loving nature, what you love, is always the finest. And so, with Venus in Leo, you love you. I think Leo has more of a propensity to love themselves than any other sign. But I got to tell you a funny story. Leo has to be center stage. And if it's not center stage, it can turn into a little pussycat, from the lion to the pussycat, that says, you know, I'm not shining. They're not recognizing me. Fortunately, your energy is so strong that ultimately they do recognize you. So, with Venus in Leo, you're going to find, and I mentioned this a minute ago, that compliments go a long, long way with you. When Venus is in Leo and the Sun is in Leo, you absolutely exude self-confidence and love. And this is where you are when you are your most powerful and beautiful, because you can create whatever you want. Now, we know that the law of attraction is such that how you're feeling, not necessarily how you're thinking, but how you're feeling, is what creates your world. You are the creator of your life, therefore. And when the Sun and Venus are both in Leo, you love yourself. People want to be around you, children, animals, because they are pure, and they feel this incredible confidence and conviction. So this is the time to negotiate a deal for a house or a car or a new job. Remember, these segments I'm doing are to help you navigate tough times. And you never want to put a bushel basket over your light. You always want to share and express you. And when I say you right now, I mean everybody who's watching this particular segment. You want to be your best. Venus is beauty, it's love, it's money, it's all things good, music. Leo loves the finest. There was a time, you might remember, some of you, we had a recession here in the United States, and money was very tight. The real estate market had tanked, and people were very concerned about their income. Leo, I have a Leo friend who still wanted to go out for dinner and ordered only the finest food. The rest of us might have been looking at the prices on the menu. Leo was looking at the food itself. And a friend of mine and I went out for dinner, and I said, listen, I've got some coupons that I got for a less expensive meal. And he looked at the choices and said, oh, I'm not eating that, no. And he put more money to it, Leo being generous, and we had an elegant dinner. This is Leo. That's just how they are. They do it naturally. Leos are so generous, and they do it naturally. They don't want cheap stuff. They want only the finest. And I learned, once the recession was over, that I really loved the finest things. And my Leo friend taught me to not go for the coupons unless the product or the service was something I really wanted. And even then, Leo will have a tendency to upgrade. Leo rules the heart. And you can see that Leo comes from their heart. Now, remember we talked earlier about being vulnerable to compliments, and you want the compliment, and if they don't compliment you, you're going to do it yourself. I asked this person I was introduced to about their college education, and it seems we went to school at the same university. And I asked him, which back then, in the dark ages when I went to college, everybody was in a fraternity or a sorority, and I asked him, were you in a fraternity? And he said, and this stuck with me, he didn't say, oh, I was in such and such a fraternity. He said, I was president of such and such a fraternity. And it cracked me up because he's a Leo. He's got to tell you, I was president. Great, grand, glorious, and wonderful Leo. And I bet he was a great president of his fraternity. So, one more planet to go, Leo, and that is Mercury, the planet of communication, correspondence, and transportation. And then we'll throw in the full moon, just because on the full moon, everything comes to a head.